Stop sweeping at night, Damilola. Put down that broom. Stop sweeping at night. The sharp voice of her grandmother cut through the thick silence of the night like a blade slicing through the soft skin of a ripe mango. Damilola froze for a moment, her hands tightening around the wooden handle of the broom. Her heart pounded, not out of fear, but frustration. She let out a small sigh and continued sweeping the dirt floor of their backyard. The moon shone brightly above, casting long shadows as the dust rose in tiny clouds around her feet. Damilola, didn't you hear me? Her mother added, stepping out of the small mud house, her wrapper tied tightly around her waist. Damilola straightened her back and rolled her eyes slightly before turning to face them. Mommy, I don't understand why you people keep shouting about this. What is the big deal? It is just a broom and dust. Her grandmother stepped forward, her face lined with age and wisdom. You don't understand, my child. We have warned you, sweeping at night is dangerous. Spirits roam at night, and they will not take kindly to you disturbing their rest, Damilola scoffed. Spirits? Ah, Mama, please. That is just an old wives' tale. Her mother shook her head, worry written all over her face. Damilola, you are a smart girl. You go to school. You study well. But some things are beyond books. If you don't believe us, at least respect the tradition, Damilola sighed. She was tired of this argument. Every time she picked up a broom at night, they repeated the same warning. But nothing had ever happened. No spirits had appeared. No bad luck struck her. No misfortune had befallen her family. It was just superstition. She tucked the broom under her arm and smiled. Mommy, Mama Dupe, I love you both. But I will never stop keeping my home neat. I just don't believe in these things. I will sweep whenever I want. Her grandmother exchanged a knowing look with her mother. The old woman shook her head slowly and whispered, You will learn, Damilola. I just pray it is not the hard way. Damilola was known throughout the village of Adarimi for her beauty, intelligence, and most of all, her love for cleanliness. While other girls her age spent their time playing by the river or weaving baskets, Damilola was always keeping the house clean, arranging and folding clothes, sweeping the compound, sweeping the backyard, sweeping the front yard, sweeping the tiny path that led to their home. She loved the feeling of a clean, dust-free environment. To her, it was a sign of discipline and responsibility. Even at school, she would volunteer to sweep the classroom before the morning bell rang. Her friends often teased her, calling her Damilola Alatisa, Damilola the neat one. She didn't mind. It was a compliment to her, but at home, it was different. Her mother and grandmother constantly warned her about sweeping at night. It is bad luck. You will sweep away our blessings. You will wake the spirits. Each time, Damilola would laugh it off. Nothing will happen. It is just superstition, she would say, and truly, nothing had ever happened, until that night. One evening, after yet another long day at school, Damilola came home to find the front yard littered with leaves and dust blown in by the harmattan winds. She sighed in frustration, grabbed her broom, and without a second thought, began sweeping. The night was calm, eerily calm. No usual village chatter. No distant sounds of goats bleating. No laughter from children. Even the wind had stilled, as if holding its breath. As she swept, a soft whistle slithered through the air. It was faint, almost unnoticeable. Damilola stopped, her ears straining. Who is there? She called out. Silence. Shrugging, she continued. Swish. 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 Then, a whisper. Damilola. She froze. Her grip on the broom tightened. Her heart pounded against her ribs. Mommy? Aya Agba? Is that you? She called, stepping back towards the house. No response, her breath caught in her throat, but she shook it off and resumed sweeping. Nonsense. It's just my mind playing tricks on me. As she swept the last pile of dirt, something cold touched her ankle. She gasped and looked down. Nothing. Damilola swallowed hard and quickly tossed the broom aside, rushing into the house. She locked the door and pulled her wrapper tight around her shoulders. That night, sleep did not come easily. the next few nights, strange things began to occur. One night, as she reached for her broom, the oil lamp beside her flickered violently, though there was no wind. The flames stretched unnaturally high, casting long, moving shadows on the mud walls. Damilola blinked. But when she looked again, everything was normal. Another night, while sweeping the back of the house, she heard a soft humming, a woman's voice, melodic yet haunting. She turned swiftly, expecting to see her mother or grandmother. But there was no one. Then came the footprints. One evening after sweeping, she noticed them, long, deep, unrecognizable prints in the dust. Not human. Not animal. Just there, as if something had walked right through the yard unseen. Then things started going wrong. Her mother's market stall, always filled with customers, suddenly became empty. People avoided their home, whispering about bad luck. Damilola's school performance dropped. Words blurred on the pages. Her teachers scolded her for simple mistakes. Her once sharp memory seemed to fade. Her closest friend, Yatund, pulled her aside one evening. Damilola, please. Listen to them. Stop sweeping at night. Something is not right. Damilola waved her off. Yatund, you too? You all sound like my mother. Yatund grabbed her hand tightly. Then explain why you always look tired. Why your mother is losing money. Why people are avoiding your house. Damilola's throat tightened. Deep inside, fear was creeping in, and the real terror was yet to come. As the years went by, Damilola grew into a striking young woman. Her beauty was the talk of the village, and suitors came from far and wide to ask for her hand in marriage. Her mother and grandmother were overjoyed, believing she would soon be married into a respectable family. But something strange happened each time a suitor came. After expressing interest and making arrangements, they never returned. First, it was Adideo, the rich merchant's son. He was enamored by Damilola's beauty and kindness. But days after he left, he sent word that he had changed his mind. Then came Ige, a skilled farmer with vast lands. He too disappeared after their first meeting. One by one, every suitor found an excuse to abandon their proposal, leaving Damilola confused and heartbroken. Rumors spread. She has been cursed, some villagers whispered. Something unseen chases her suitors away. Mama Dupe looked at her granddaughter with sorrowful eyes. Damilola, you have done something wrong. You disturbed what should have been left alone. Damilola refused to believe it. Mommy, it's just coincidence. Perhaps they were never meant for me. But deep down, she began to wonder. Then something even more terrible happened. That night, despite all the warnings, Damilola picked up her broom once again. The night was darker than usual, and an unsettling silence settled over the village. Even the crickets seemed to have lost their voices. As she swept, she heard footsteps approaching, heavy, slow, deliberate. Damilola paused, listening carefully. Mama? Baba? No response. She took a cautious step forward, peering into the darkness. Then she saw it, a pair of glowing red eyes, staring at her from the shadows near the tree at the edge of the compound. Her throat went dry. Her legs trembled. The figure stepped forward. It was tall, cloaked in darkness, its form shifting like smoke. Damilola. The voice was deep, hollow, like the wind whispering through the trees. You have disturbed us long enough. Damilola gasped, stumbling backward. The broom dropped from her hands. The air around her turned ice cold, her breath visible as she exhaled in quick, shallow gasps. Then suddenly, the village rooster crowed, loud and urgent. The figure hissed and melted back into the darkness. Damilola wasted no time. She ran inside, bolting the door behind her, her heart slamming against her ribs. From that night onward, things spiraled downward. First, her mother fell mysteriously ill. The village healer tried all his remedies, but nothing worked. This sickness is not of the body, he murmured gravely. It is of the spirit. Then their livestock started dying one by one. The chickens refused to lay eggs. The goats bleated in distress. The cows became weak and frail. The once lively household turned into a place of despair. And then, the worst happened. Damilola herself began to change. Her skin, once glowing and full of life, became pale and dry. She barely ate. Barely slept. At night, whispers filled her ears, soft, insistent voices calling her name. She started seeing shadows in the corners of her vision, flickering just beyond the lantern light. One night, yet another suitor came to visit. His name was Olami, a wealthy cocoa trader from the neighboring village. He was kind, gentle, and well respected. Damilola's mother was hopeful, but before the wedding preparations could begin, he vanished. Without a trace, rumors spread faster than wildfire. She is cursed. She has angered the spirits. No man will ever marry her. The shame weighed heavily on her. She knew the elders were right. She had mocked the traditions, ignored the warnings, and now, she was paying the price. Desperate, she finally sought out the village elder, a man known for his deep connection with the spirit world. He listened to her story with grave silence and then spoke. "You have broken a sacred rule, child. The spirits are not to be disturbed. But there is still hope." Damilola fell to her knees. "What must I do, Baba? Please, tell me." He instructed her to prepare an offering: 3 white pigeons, a calabash of palm wine, and the finest yam from the market. Take them to the old shrine in the forest. There, you must ask for forgiveness. Terrified but determined, Damilola did as she was told. The journey to the shrine was long and filled with eerie whispers, unseen hands brushing against her skin. But she pressed on. At the shrine, she knelt and spoke from her heart. "I was wrong. I mocked the wisdom of my elders. Please forgive me." A sudden wind swept through the trees. The whispers ceased. The air grew warm again. When she returned to the village, everything changed. Her mother recovered. Their livestock thrived once more, and finally, after many years, a suitor came, and stayed. Damilola learned her lesson the hard way. Traditions are not just rules. They are the wisdom of generations. There are things in this world beyond our understanding. Some beliefs, no matter how old, exist for a reason, and so, in the village of Adarimi, no one ever swept at night again. Thank you so much for spending time with me on this journey into African folklore. I hope you enjoyed this story as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you. If you did, there's a whole library of other enchanting tales waiting for you on our channel, so feel free to explore and immerse yourself in more stories from across Africa. And if you're new here, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next tale. Remember, every single like, comment, and share from you is like adding a log to our storytelling fire. It might seem like a small click, but it helps this channel grow and reach more people who love these tales just like you. Your engagement truly keeps the heart of this channel beating, and I cannot thank you enough for that. I'm genuinely grateful for each and every one of you. Your encouragement and enthusiasm inspire me to keep bringing these stories to life, week after week. So please, keep coming back. There are so many more adventures and lessons to discover together in our upcoming stories. Your support means the world to me, and it's the reason I wake up excited to share a new tale every time. It makes me so happy to see our storytelling circle span across the globe and hear from friends in all corners of the world. Once again, thank you for being here and for being part of this journey. Your presence and support truly mean the world to me. Together, let's keep the spirit of African folktales alive and thriving for generations to come. Until next time, stay well, and keep the stories alive. I can't wait to share another tale with you soon. Bye for now.